We are now about to prepare probably one of the most popular and famous of all Jewish dishes in the world historically, and that is cholent. Now, cholent comes, from what I understand, from two French words.
Which you're going to have to say.
Which I'm going to say. It is chaud, which is hot, and lent, which is slow. So hot, slow. It cooks slowly. And from what I heard, we go back to the Second Temple era, when the Sadducees, who was a sect named after their leader Tzadok, and they took their own interpretation of the law, the Jewish law, and they went literally that you're not allowed to have anything hot, any flame on the Sabbath. Then there were the Pharisees, and they went more according to the rabbinic law, and they said, yes, you can light a fire before the Sabbath,
You're right.
and keep it, slow, like chaud lent, keep it on a slow flame throughout the Sabbath. And they would eat hot food, and they'd prepare something and keep it kindling and slowly burning through the Sabbath, and they would eat hot food. And that's, I guess, where it originates. And I guess in Eastern Europe, we're going to do an Ashkenazi cholent.
We're going to do an Ashkenazi cholent. And actually, while you're talking, I'm going to just brown the meat in some schmaltz.
Okay, and the cholent is made by all Jewish groups.
Whoa.
Whoops.
That's all right. I'm like Julia Child here.
You can have an Iraqi cholent, a Sephardic cholent, all
exactly.
kinds of
I think a Sephardic cholent is dafina.
Dafina.
And the Sephardim use chickpeas, and they use couscous, and we use barley traditionally.
Okay, so let's see what are our ingredients while you're putting this in.
For about 8 people, or big chunks.
Okay.
For a big, so you have leftovers, big portions. I know my son usually has cholent before he goes to shul, and then again after shul. And when he wakes up and he smells the cholent, he knows it's time to wake up. But I have about 4 pounds of flanken. That's it.
Flanken. Oh, my favorite.
Flanken.
Sprondre.
And it's a fatty meat. There's a lot of connective tissue, and that has a lot of flavor, but it has to slow cook.
Okay.
And so it's perfect for this.
4 pounds of flanken.
Of flanken and some marrow bones, and there's a lot of collagen in the marrow bones. We learned that from the pachar,
right.
And that gives it a lot of body and flavor.
Okay.
And we're browning it because when we brown it, the sugars and the protein, it caramelizes, and it seals in the flavors, and the difference is unbelievable. You should always brown your meat before you cook it.
I will always brown from now on. I'll always brown my meat. So we got 4 pounds of beef.
We have 4 pounds of beef.
All right.
And this is like short ribs, the flanken.
All right.
And it's a nice fatty piece. You can tell I
fast.
like fat.
That goes
fast. I mean, it's a high flame.
Okay.
And I'll also brown the bones a little bit.
Okay.
And once, you know what? And we're just going to brown it in here, but we're going to put it in the slow cooker.
Okay.
So that once Shabbat is ready, once Shabbat starts, the food will be ready, and then it'll just be on warm until tomorrow.
Lent.
Lent.
It will be lent.
Okay, my French isn't so good.
That's okay.
So if you could just hand me that bowl.
Sure.
And I'm going to ask you, and this is the bowl for the slow cooker. I'm going to ask you to put the meat in there.
Okay.
And I'm going to put the onions in.
Okay, so I put the meat in
here. Put
here.
the meat in there.
How many onions?
I have about 2 pounds of chopped onions.
Now this meat is not totally done. We're just
it's
browning.
not right. It's not done at all.
Browned.
This has to cook for a few hours.
All right.
I just wanted to get the
just
outside caramelized.
Okay.
You can put the bones in there also.
I got the bones in there.
Thank you. And I'm going to put the onions in.
Okay. How am I doing?
You are doing so beautifully.
Okay.
Thank you. You are a great sous chef.
I need you every. How lovely! I put those in.
You did that so perfectly.
So perfectly.
I need you every Friday to help me before Shabbat.
Okay. You know what they used to do, by the way, in Eastern Europe? They would take, if you had money, you would take your cholent pot and take it to the baker, and the baker would then store it. They would seal it.
Mm-hmm.
They'd seal it around, and the baker would store it. And coming home on Shabbat, Saturday from shul, from the synagogue. The husband probably would pick it up from the baker. They'd give him a little number or a tag and take it home, and they would eat the hot cholent. And if you didn't have money to go to the baker, my father told me in the old days they would put it under the Iberbet, which was the down comforter. And
Oh.
it would keep them warm at night, and it
That's
would also
great.
keep the cholent warm, so you had your own version.
I could see just putting my feet inside the cholent.
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying, we had in front of the deli, we had a sign that said the French have cassoulet, we have cholent. And I looked up, I was looking at the ingredients in cassoulet, and I know there's pork in there. And I was trying to recreate what that would taste like. So I'm going to throw in some pastrami.
How much?
I've got a pound of pastrami.
A pound of pastrami. That's
Yeah.
a pound?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I've got thick pieces here.
Oh, pastrami.
All right, we're going to we're going to render some of that fat in with the onions.
Okay.
And I'm going to throw in some garlic. I'm leaving these whole.
We're not doing the jam on
Oh,
the...
you know what? You really want to do that, don't you?
I love doing the jam.
Then
No,
for
it's
the
all right.
next thing, you'll do the
Next thing,
jam.
okay. How many? 4 cloves?
I threw in 4 cloves. And I'm leaving it whole because it gives it a nice flavor. And even if you bite into it, once it's cooked like that, it's just very sweet.
Okay.
It's not the garlic taste that you taste in the pacha.
By the way, the Second Avenue pastrami was the best in the world. Hot pastrami on rye with a pickle. Nothing like it.
I'm with you on that.
Nothing like it.
All right.
Okay.
So now I'm going to turn this off.
All right.
And if you can, I'm going to pick this up. And if you can just pull that over here.
And we're going to put that in here?
I'm going to put that in here. Watch your hands.
How you do? Uh-oh.
Just leave it like this.
If you didn't have me here, could you do this by yourself?
Of course not.
Of course not.
If you could put that here so I can put this
Put
hot
this
pot
here.
down.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, now I have potatoes. I have 4 potatoes that I cut up, 4 large Idaho potatoes. And the reason I have them in water is I wanted to peel them ahead of time. And if I didn't keep them in water, they would oxidize and turn brown. They start to turn brown almost immediately. So I have them in water so I can just throw them right in.
Okay.
All right, now you're going to see in the cholent that's ready, we have brown eggs. I'm taking 4 raw eggs, and it's going to turn really nice and brown, and it's absolutely delicious. In Israel, they sell these on the street. They sell these eggs.
Is that huevos caminados?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. But you put them in raw?
Putting them in raw because this is going to be in the slow cooker for about 8 to 12 hours.
Aha.
So
And then they'll just turn brown.
they're going to turn brown.
Okay.
Now, I've got here assorted beans. I've got navy beans. I've got lima beans. I have 2 cups of beans. You can soak them ahead of time, and that'll help with the gas problem a little bit.
What gas
No,
problem?
I'm not saying you have a gas problem.
I
If
don't
somebody
have- I
has
don't
a
have
gas,
a gas problem.
If somebody has a gas problem.
Are you
Never, I'm not assuming, I'm not.
Okay.
No, don't worry.
Not insinuating
Not,
anything.
of course
Okay.
not. Just pick through it. If there are any little pebbles or anything, you just take that out. But you don't have to soak them. I'm just going to put the beans in
Do
here.
you have to put beans in, or can you make a cholent without beans?
You can ma-
Traditionally,
Traditionally, you know what? Anything is fine in the cholent. I sometimes make a chili. I have whatever is lying around in the house, whatever vegetables, root vegetable, I'll just throw it in. But a traditional Ashkenazic cholent is with beans, potatoes, barley, and flanken.
okay.
And I've got 2 cups of beans, and I've got 2/3 of a cup of barley.
Now you told me that you also make a vegetarian cholent.
I make an amazing vegetarian cholent using portobello mushrooms and prunes. And it gives it so much body. And when those portobello mushrooms and prunes cook for a while, it becomes really meaty and juicy, and people swear there's meat in it.
Okay.
All right, I'm throwing in 2 bay leaves.
2 bay leaves.
I have 2 fresh, sprigs of 5 pieces of thyme, and I'm just going to show you how to take the thyme off. This is a sprig of thyme, and if you just, with your hand, you can just pull it off like that.
Pull it off.
All right, so we don't want this woody part in there,
Oh, I see. Okay.
and it'll just,
Ooh,
I
that
love
smells
fresh
good.
thyme. Yeah.
Mm.
Can you imagine once it's cooked? All right, I already salted the meat and I salted the onions when we were doing it, but I like to layer the different flavors. I'm going to add a little more salt.
Any kind of salt, or is it like?
I like to use kosher salt.
Sure.
Some pepper, freshly ground, of course. And we're going to just cover this with water, and I'm going to put it in the slow cooker. And in 8 hours, we're going to start smelling it in 4 to 5 hours.
I
will
smell it
wake us
already.
up.
Are you kidding?
It'll wake us up in the middle of the night.
Uh-huh.
But in the morning before we go to shul, there's no way you're going to be able to go to shul without having
Now,
some of
this pot, is it a specific kind of pot, or can you use any pot?
No, this is what fits into the slow cooker.
Okay, and
So
it's made.
just an electric slow cooker.
And it is what kind of a pot? Is it?
It's just the insert from the slow cooker.
Okay.
Right, you have to use that insert.
Now, when you say slow cooker, forgive my ignorance. What does that mean?
A crock pot.
Oh, okay.
It's the kind of thing where you can put the things in the crock pot in the morning, go to work, and when you come home from work, food is ready.
Gotcha.
So
Do we cover this?
we're going to cover it. There's the cover.
Okay.
And I have the crock pot over on the other side.
Okay, so I'm going to put this into
You put the crock in the crock pot,
the crock pot.
and it's on high, and it'll cook. And then before Shabbat, we'll put it on low, and it'll stay warm. But
Now, what if you don't have
if you
a
don't
crock
have a
pot?
crock pot, you just set your oven on 250 degrees and just leave it there.
And leave it for 8 hours.
Leave it for 8 hours,
Okay.
and
after 8 hours,
this is what we have
this
after 8
is
hours.
what we have.
And
Can you see this incredible?
we've got meat here, we've got barley, we've got beans, we've got potatoes.
Now the eggs are peeled.
I'm gonna. Oh no, they didn't automatically peel
How did these
themselves.
eggs get peeled?
I'm glad you keep saying that
That's
word
a
because I
miracle. It's a
can't.
miracle. They got peeled.
Wonders of wonders,
Wonder-
miracles
yes.
of miracles.
So how did
no,
this happen?
when this cooled, I peeled it because I don't like to serve it to my guests with the peel.
You
so
don't
they
want
don't.
them to eat.
I don't.
the peels.
Right.
So when it cooled, you let it cool first?
Well, no, I took the eggs out, let it cool.
Oh,
but let me just cut the egg so you could see. You see, it's brown, and
let's move it up here.
and it has the taste of the cholent, and it's just.
And that seeped through
It
the
seeped
shell.
through the shell and
That's
everything.
amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
So all we had to do was remove the eggs, remove the shells, and put them back in.
And just put them back in.
Wow.
So I'm going
This
to give
is
you a
something.
piece, and I'm going to
Okay.
give me some. I want to add like
The
potato.
meat, the meat.
Oh, okay,
I
okay,
want
okay.
the
I'm
meat.
giving you the
That's
meat.
it.
You want an egg?
Sure.
Of course. Okay. And here's your fork.
And here's yours.
Thank you.
And here is a choulan, which means cholent. Hearty appetite.
And that is good.
That is
Good breakfast food.